Sahih al-Bukhari 2111. Narrated Abdullah bin Umar.
Allah's Messenger said, both the buyer and the seller have the option of cancelling or confirming a bargain unless they separate, or the sale is optional.
Sahih al-Bukhari 2112. Narrated Ibn Umar.
Allah's Messenger said, both the buyer and the seller have the option of cancelling or confirming the bargain, as long as they are still together, and unless they separate or one of them gives the other the option of keeping or returning the things and a decision is concluded then, in which case the bargain is considered final. If they separate after the bargain and none of them has rejected it, then the bargain is rendered final.
Sahih al-Bukhari 2113. Narrated Ibn Umar.
The Prophet said, no deal is settled and finalized unless the buyer and the seller separate, except if the deal is optional, whereby the validity of the bargain depends on the stipulations agreed upon.
Sahih al-Bukhari 2114. Narrated Hakim bin Hizam.
The Prophet said, both the buyer and the seller have the option of cancelling or confirming the bargain unless they separate. The sub-narrator, Hammam said, I found this in my book, both the buyer and the seller give the option of either confirming or cancelling the bargain 3 times, and if they speak the truth and mention the defects, then their bargain will be blessed, and if they tell lies and conceal the defects, they might gain some financial gain but they will deprive their sale of Allah's blessings.
Sahih al-Bukhari 2115. Narrated Ibn Umar, R.A.
We were accompanying the Prophet on a journey and I was riding an unmanageable camel belonging to Umar, R.A., and I could not bring it under my control. So, it used to go ahead of the party and Umar would check it and force it to retreat, and again it went ahead and again Umar forced it to retreat. The Prophet asked Umar to sell that camel to him.
Umar replied, it is for you, O Allah's Messenger.
Allah's Messenger told Umar to sell that camel to him, not to give it as gift.
So, Umar sold it to Allah's Messenger. Then the Prophet said to Abdullah bin Umar, this camel is for you, O Abdullah, as a present, and you could do with it whatever you like. Sahih al-Bukhari 2116. Narrated Abdullah bin Umar, R.A.
I bartered my property in Khaybar to Uthman, chief of the faithful believers, for his property in al-Wadi. When we finished the deal, I left immediately and got out of his house lest he should cancel the deal, for the tradition was that the buyer and the seller had the option of cancelling the bargain unless they separated. When our deal was completed, I came to know that I had been unfair to Uthman, for by selling him my land I caused him to be in a land of the mud, at a distance of 3 days' journey from al-Madinah, while he made me near to al-Madinah, at a distance of 3 days' journey from my former land.
Sahih al-Bukhari 2117. Narrated Abdullah bin Umar.
A person came to the Prophet, and told him that he was always betrayed in purchasing. The Prophet told him to say at the time of buying, no cheating.
Sahih al-Bukhari 2118. Narrated Aisha. Allah's Messenger said, an army will invade the Kaaba, and when the invaders reach al-Baida, all the ground will sink and swallow the whole army. I said, O Allah's Messenger, how will they sink into the ground while amongst them will be their markets, the people who worked in business and not invaders, and the people not belonging to them? The Prophet replied, all of those people will sink but they will be resurrected and judged according to their intentions. Sahih al-Bukhari 2119. Narrated Abu Huraira.
Allah's Messenger said, the congregational prayer of anyone amongst you is more than 25 or 27 times in reward than his prayer in the market or in his house, for if he performs ablution completely and then goes to the mosque with the sole intention of performing the prayer, and nothing urges him to proceed to the mosque except the prayer, then, on every step which he takes towards the mosque, he will be raised 1 degree or one of his sins will be forgiven. The angels will keep on asking Allah's forgiveness and blessings for every one of you so long as he keeps sitting at his praying place. The angels will say, O Allah, bless him. O Allah, be merciful to him. As long as he does not do hadith or a thing which gives trouble to the other. The Prophet further said, one is regarded in prayer so long as one is waiting for the prayer. Sahih al-Bukhari 2120. Narrated Anas bin Malik. While the Prophet was in the market, somebody called, O Abul Qasim. The Prophet turned to him. The man said, I have called to this, i.e. another man. The Prophet said, "Name yourselves by my name but not by my kunya name." In Arabic world it is the custom to call the man as the father of his eldest son, e.g. Abul Qasim.